Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Today we finished Surah Al-Rum, Surah Al-Rahman, Surah Sajda, and some portion of Surah Al-Ahzab. Every action of Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designed and the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala how He commanded him to do something, it always had a meaning to it. There was always a purpose to it. One of the most important events in the history of Islam, in the lifespan of Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, was the story of Isra and Al-Mi'raj. Now the word Isra, the linguistic meaning of it is, Al-Isra is to travel at night time. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described in the Quran, Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi laylan min al-masjid al-haram. That glory be to him, Alladhi asra bi'abdihi, who made his slave travel from Masjid al-Haram, from Makkah, ila al-Masjid al-Aqsa. Means from up to Bayt al-Maqdis, Masjid al-Aqsa, Bayt Alladhi barakna hawlahu. That Masjid al-Aqsa, Alladhi barakna hawlahu, around which we have made that area, that entire area around the Masjid al-Aqsa, blessed. لِنُرِيَهُ مِنْ آيَاتِنَا, so we can show him from our signs. Now what happened was, one time, actually there's a lot of riwayats from Bukhari too, about Isra and Al-Mi'raj. These two different journeys are different. Isra is the journey as being described in the Quran, from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa. That's Isra. And Al-Mi'raj, the word Al-Mi'raj in linguistic meaning, it means that to go upward, to ascend towards the sky, or to just go upwards. That's Mi'raj. So Isra is where Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned the different riwayahs. Some say he was in his home, some say that he was resting in Kaaba Sharif around in Masjid Haram, and two angels came in the form of a human being. Some say three came. Two definitely were Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam and Hazrat Israfil alayhi salatu wasalam. One riwayah mentions that Hazrat Mikail alayhi salatu wasalam accompanied. After that, when they came to him in the form of human being, they did something. Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam did something which he has done before in the youth and childhood of Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that's the story of Shaq al-Sadr. There were a couple of times in the life of Nabi Pak where when his heart was split open, when his chest was split open, his heart was taken out. For what purpose? So what they did was, Jibreel Sallallahu he split his chest open and took out his heart from his chest. And then he had a small little bowl or a small little plate. And in that plate was filled with nur, light, iman, as it comes in riwayat. So he filled his heart from all that iman and all the nur that Jibreel brought from the skies, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now there was a purpose behind what all this was happening. So after he was done filling his heart up with all this, he closed his heart, he sewed his heart up back into the chest, and then a conveyance was brought to him, and that was Buraq. Buraq is a conveyance which is being mentioned and described into the riwayat. Something which is smaller than a donkey and bigger than a mule. That is Buraq. And the speed of this animal, the way it was described in the riwayat is, as far as a person's eyesight can go up to, is up to where this Buraq will step in one step. That's how far his hooves used to go to. So that was brought to him, and one of the Farishta from the Ibrahim Jibreel was holding the area around the saddle of the Buraq, while the other one was holding the rein. That thing would go through the nose of the animal. And then they moved on. Now that I said, there are different riwayahs, so different riwayahs have different things to offer, obviously. So what happened was, as they traveled they came across 3 different places. One was Turi Sinai, the Mount Sinai of the Musa والسلام. When they were passing by that place, then another Jibreel والسلام told Nabi Muhammad, you go down, get off the animal and pray namaz. He prayed, but he didn't know what place was that. So after he prayed, then Jibreel got him up on the animal and he told him, do you know what place was this? Nabi Muhammad said, no, I don't know. He said this was the Mount Sinai, the Tur Sinai. Then they moved on. Then one place came where Jibreel told him to get down from the animal, pray again. He prayed again. So after that, when he was done praying, Jibreel got him on the animal again and asked him, do you know what place is this? He said no. So Jibreel replied, this is Taiba, and this is the land where your Muhajirin and the people will migrate from your home. They are on Medina al-Mukarramah. This story automatically understand means it happened in Makkah. So then they traveled again. Then a place came. Hazrat Jibreel told him to go down and pray. So he went down, he prayed, and then again when he got on back to the animal, Jibreel asked him a question that, do you know what place was this? Nabi Prophet said, no, I don't know what place this is. Jibreel said, this is Bait Laham, in an area close to Masjid al-Aqsa where Hazrat Isa was born. That's the area. And they moved on, and when they reached to Masjid al-Aqsa, Bayt al-Muqaddas, so Nabi Prophet got down and he tied his animal, the rein of the animal, to a ring, to a loop, a ring, where the other Anbiya Karam used to tie their animals. There was a smaller ring over there. I think it's still over there. It's smaller, it's just made out of steel, I guess. So then, obviously, he tied it up. Then Hazrat Jibreel went with Nabi Prophet in the masjid. So when he went over there, he found all the Anbiya Karam over there, as coming in the hadith. So they were waiting for someone to lead a namaz. All the Anbiya Karam Namaz is the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He can make a life wherever he wants and whenever he wants. So, and we also know that one of the mu'jizat was Isa was to revive the dead. So if a Nabi can do it, obviously with no doubt Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do it according to his word. So then once he went inside, they were waiting for someone to lead the namaz. So Hazrat Jibreel in the riwayat comes, he tapped on the shoulder of Nabi Pak and he asked him, you may go and lead the namaz. And Nabi Pak all the Anbiya Karam were present over there and they prayed behind Nabi Pak. That's what it's called, Imam al-Anbiya. And after he was done praying, he was taken. Now, the Al-Mi'raj starts. Some people, some ulama say these two journeys were different, some say it was the same. However, all this different riwayat comes in the books about Isra and Mi'raj both. Then, he was taken up into the heavens. Now the Mi'raj starts. What the Mi'raj is about. He was taken up to the heavens, so when he reached the first sky, Hazrat Jibreel, he knocked the door of the first sky. So the guard of that, the angel who's the guard of first heaven, he asked him, who is this? So Jibreel said, it's me. So the guard asked, the angel asked that, is there someone with you? So he said, yes. So the guard asked, who is here with you? He said, yes, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He opened the first door. And the first Nabi, the Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam met was Hazrat Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. And obviously Hazrat Adam Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam, obviously after salam, they exchanged salam, and he obviously greeted Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam bil akh salih wa ibn salih wa ibn salih wa nabi salih, the pious son of mine and the pious Nabi. And he saw Adam والسلام, when he used to look on his right side, he used to smile. When he used to look on his left side, he used to be sad. So Nabi Pak was asked why is it so? So the reason what was mentioned was on the right side was all those arwah, all those ruh who was obviously, they were also children of Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, but all right side was all those who were supposed to be going to Jannah because of their good amal. People who did good amal and will be entering in Jannah. And on the left side was also the arwah and the awlad and the children of Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. Unfortunately, those ones who are going to, na'uz billah, enter in Jahannam for their bad deeds. And then from there, Nabi Pak was taken into the second heaven. Second heaven, same thing happened. The angel asked, who is this? The guard of second heaven. And he said, Jibreel said, it's me, and with me is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And when he went to the second heaven, the doors were open, he went inside, he met two Nabi at the same time. Two were together, Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam and his cousin Hazrat Yahya alayhi salatu wasalam. And both of them greeted, Marhaban bil akhi salih wa nabi salih. That, welcome, O our pious brother and our pious Lord. And then he moved to the third room, the third sky, where he happened to meet Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. And the way he was greeted was actually the same. That, Marhaban bil akhi salih wa nabi salih. Welcome, O my pious brother and pious Nabi. Then he moved to the fourth heaven, where he happened to meet Hazrat Idris alayhi salatu wasalam. And the greeting was done in the same manner. Then he went to the fifth heaven, where he met Hazrat Harun alayhi salatu wasalam. Then he went, after that, the next sky he went to, he met, and the way he described in the hadith is a very tall man. Who was this person? Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. And then he went to the last sky, the seventh heaven, that was Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And obviously the story is very long. There's numerous different things which actually happened in the entire journey of Nabi Pak. In a very brief, I can say that Nabi Pak saw different people getting punished for different reasons. Someone for fornication, someone for slandering, someone for not paying zakat, whatever it was. It's all different reasons where people are being tortured and punished in different manner. And each time Nabi Pak used to say, why is this person being punished? And Jibreel used to give them a reason behind it. Then in the middle was one time when Nabi Pak was offered two things, milk and wine. So he took milk and drank. So Hazrat Jibreel told him, see, if you were to pick up wine instead of milk, then a big portion of your ummah would have been led straight from the right path. Then one time he was passing by, there was one person who was calling out his name. Oh Muhammad, look towards me. So we want to talk to him. Nabi Pak didn't reply to him anything. So then Jibreel asked, do you know who he was? He said, no, I don't know who he was. He said he was a Jew. If you were to look at him and reply to him and talk to him what he was trying to say, a big portion of your ummah would have converted into Judaism. He would have become Jewish. Then one time he was traveling and a person called him. Nabi Pak didn't reply to him. So later on, as the Jibreel asked him, do you know who that person was? He said, I don't know. He said, this was a Christian person. If you were to reply to him, if you were to talk to him, a big portion of your ummah would have turned towards Christianity. Then Nabi Pak came across Baytul Ma'mur too, and Baytul Ma'mur is a place up in the heaven where 70,000 angels every day visit Baytul Ma'mur. And when that 70,000 angels visit Baytul Ma'mur, the turn of that 70,000 angels up to the day of judgment never comes back. Meaning that's the last time that group of angels get into that thing and get into that place called Baytul Ma'mur, and always their ibadah is going on. 70,000 angels go over there, they just make about worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then next day they just get out and another 70,000 go. And every day a group of 70,000 visits Baytul Ma'mur. It's always filled with the angels and ibadah is being done over there. And the most magnificent thing that actually happened in this journey was the namaz. How namaz became first, 5 times namaz. Originally, Nabi Pak was being told to command his ummah to pray 50 namaz in one day, 50. Then Nabi Pak obviously took the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, didn't never talk back to him, came back. So he came across Musa as-salam. Musa as-salam asked, how many namaz are you being given? He said 50. He said 50? My ummah couldn't even do this much. He said 50, your ummah won't be able to do, they're weak. I know the nature of people. You should go back, ask Allah to decrease it. He went back, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreased it by 5, became 45. Then he went back, then as Musa said the same thing, asked him to decrease the number. He says, too much, your people won't be able to handle. My people were not able to handle also the namaz we're giving to them. So he kept moving back and forth. Every time he used to go inside, he would go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to decrease 5 times, then he used to come back to Musa back and forth until it came on 5. So when he was coming back with 5 namaz, Musa said, how many namaz are you being given to pray? He said 5. He said, no, 5 is still too much. And he was right about that too. 5 was still too much, your ummah won't be able to take. Fact is, how many people pray 5 times namaz? We all know it today. So Nabi Pak replied that now I am too shy to go to Allah Ta'ala and ask for decree. I can't go over there. So Allah Ta'ala said that you have 5 namaz. We will give you the sawab of 50. You pray 1 namaz, you get sawab of 10. Man ja'a bil hasanati falahu ashru amsalha. The one who brings 1 good deed, Allah Ta'ala gives him 10-fold of it, multiplies it by 10. You pray, the Ummah of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the greatness Allah Ta'ala has granted them and the privilege Allah Ta'ala has granted them is, they'll pray 5, but they will get the sawab of 50. And obviously later on, then the entire thing came across Sidratul Muntaha also. He met Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala also, and then he came down. Later on, the Jews and everyone, obviously was a Nabi. He said the entire story. And as Jews and non-Muslims at that time, they were always after him to make some kind of joke, some kind of make fun out of him. So when he said he said, MashaAllah, now he went to sky also. A new story came up. So the people, they said, look, let's find out. He said in one night, he traveled from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa. This is what he said. It's impossible. You can't travel. And up to what we know, until now, he never been to Masjid al-Aqsa. And now all of a sudden he says it. And he said that he traveled in one night. It's not possible. So let's ask him. They asked him, how many doors are there? How many windows are there? How many people are there? Started asking everything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obviously he's been over there. So he told them, this how many doors are there, this how many windows are there. Obviously they were speechless. They didn't bring Iman or they brought Islam, but still they were speechless for the fact. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك وسلم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين آمين برحمتك.